Good afternoon from the Circus Sports of the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. Tennessee won their fourth straight game last night, 84-66 over the Ole Miss Rebels. Freshman Nate Ament continues to stay hot as he led the Vols with 28 points to go along with 6 boards last night. In NFL news, the New York Jets have hired former Panthers and Colts head coach Frank Reich to be their new offensive coordinator. Reich and Jets head coach Aaron Glenn were teammates on the Jets in 1996 and will now coach together 30 years later. And lastly, in some NBA news, the Dallas Mavericks have traded Anthony Davis and multiple players to the Washington Wizards. In return, they will get Chris Middleton, multiple players, and 5 picks. Also, the Philadelphia 76ers just traded their 2024 first-round pick, Jared McCain, to the Oklahoma City Thunder. All of this reported by Shams Sharania. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. And we also have the F&M Bank chat, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live, wherever you get your Zone TV to interact with us. Got a lot of good afternoons from the chat today. Good afternoon to the chat.
Oh man, they're relieved that Buck's gone.
Yes.
That's what that was. Is that what it was? No, just kidding. We were talking about cats and dogs with Buck, man, and so we're going to start off the show with, since you're subject expert there, partner Zach. What is the main difference? Because we were discussing cats and dogs, and what is the main difference? Just call us 737-1045 The Zone. Like a characteristic that besides you can leave a cat at home, and maybe the cats are smarter depending on the dog, right? But like give us something that would make, because they said that I would fall. I said, I've never had a cat. I'm a dog guy. I've never even been around cats. Every time I see a cat and it looks at me, I'm like, oh man, it's about to crawl, pull out my eyeball or something. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just how they look at their eyes.
Always up to
cats.
no good.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, when I'm looking at them. So kind of call in and tell us, what's the difference between cats and dogs as far as when you own them and, characteristics about them. I love pets, and now they got me thinking about, should I get a cat? You tell me, got to get a kitten also to fall in love with me.
So it'll imprint on you.
Oh, you've had a cat too? No. Well, why can't the puppy fall in love with?
Now the puppy can too, but we're talking about specifically just the cat, not the difference between a cat and a dog, but like specifically with the cat, you want to get that cat young so it loves you and not wants to kill you in your sleep.
Oh,
so if you get just a stray cat,
does it feel like I'm
you don't want to get an alley cat or a street cat. No trash cats.
Oh. No trash cat.
No trash cat.
I can't pick up
out of a dumpster.
A stray cat like this on the street.
I would take that somewhere else. Now listen, if it's a kitten, now because I know Stoney, who's been on the show and does Flip on the F words. Oh yeah, he's a big cat dad.
Okay.
He recently rescued a kitten that was thrown out of a car. In an intersection in Mount Juliet, busy intersection whizzing by.
So he saw the cat being thrown out.
And got it.
Or did the cat jump out?
I don't know if the cat may have jumped out, but he went and got it, and he
How
took
does
it.
Survive that?
Well, that's one of the 9.
They said cats get hit and then they just get up and walk and run away.
One of the 9 lives. They got 9 lives.
They got 9 lives.
So now Pepper is down to 8.
Can that rub off on me? Like
I don't think so.
Not. Oh, you just, oh man, I would have believed that if you would have told me.
I liken it to a cat's a teenager, a dog is always like a 7 or 8 year old. Going to love you unconditionally, but you can't leave it. With a cat, you can leave it, and it's going to hate you at some point in your life. It's just kind of turn on you a little bit. And
so you've had both.
I've had both. So I grew up with cats. I prefer dogs. And then now my allergy to cats that I grew into, which is also very weird, had cats from toddler to 12 or 13 years old. I've always had cats. And then turns out I was allergic to cats at some point. So I kind of grew into an allergy. But with dogs, I don't know. I love my 2 French bulldogs more than I've loved most of my cats and everything. There's one cat that will always have a special place in my heart. My very first one, Figaro, who whenever I would get sick would sleep in my doorway. So like dogs and cats have the same kind of loyalty imprint, but when it comes down to maybe obedience, cats probably are not as obedient as dogs and don't listen very well, but they're also very self-efficient. You got a litter box. They know to go into the litter box. Not a lot of cat turds you're having to clean up like maybe dog turds. House breaking a cat's a little bit easier, or at least house training a cat is a little bit, potty training, I should say, because I don't know if you can really, truly ever house break a cat.
Ah, okay. I've never had really issues with our dogs. They're pretty unique in that they were pretty sharp. I trained them all.
Yeah.
All three of the different dogs we have. Our dog. The reason why I bring it up because our dog is like 104 dog years, and I'm like, man, he's getting old. He's starting to struggle getting up the steps and certain stuff and going out. And I'm like, man, this may be getting towards the end of the road for my man
be sad.
Ziggy. Yeah, it will be devastating for us. Especially my wife, who was, I call her the number one duckling in the house because he'll follow her around everywhere. And we had her, had him since he was a puppy, really small. Then my son is probably, he's number 2. He's 1B and I'm 2.
Yeah.
Like he only comes to me because he knows I'm going to give him treats and everything else. Other than that, he'd be like, you hear, I'm waiting for mom to get home.
All right, let's go to the phones. Got some phone calls. Let's go start with Root. Root, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Root.
Hey, fellas. Blaine, you probably don't remember me, but back in the day, you'd come hang out at Rio Bravo West End.
Oh, yeah, that was my spot.
Bar area.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I worked the bar area tables, and I remember you and Marcus Robertson basically talking about how they relied too much on Del Greco, and that's even before you went to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But Marcus was a lot more animated. I'll say this. I've been a dog person my entire life, and I've always said, how do you tell who loves you more, your dog or your wife? Lock them both in a trunk and go back 2 hours and see who's happy to see you.
That is hilarious.
We have had probably 7 Boston Terriers in our 22 years of marriage because we like to adopt and rescue Bostons. And we've had a couple other dogs. We've always been dog people. My daughter started taking attention to this beautiful cat that kind of hangs out in the neighborhood. And all of a sudden, he has adopted us. And during the cold, we'd let him in and sleep at night. And one of our Bostons is really sick, and so we've been putting pee pads down for her.
Oh.
And he uses the pee pads. We even have to try and train him. We've never had an accident in the house with this cat. He loves to come get petted and sit. I mean, it's like he's got a dog mentality. And so it really just depends on the animal.
Gotcha.
There you go. We appreciate the insight there. Go ahead.
But dogs are way more athletic and fun to have around on that end.
There you go. I don't know. Are they more athletic? Because, cats are pretty nimble. They got a good vert.
Ledge, and then they got great balance.
Yeah.
I get scared of cats. Like, they'll just be chilling. All of a sudden, they start running, jumping, like you're saying. Like, they're just kind of scary.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's how I feel, and I'm trying to get over it a little bit.
And dogs are like your boys, right?
Yeah.
Or your girls, whatever, right?
It feels a little bit different, but it may be just because I'm not familiar with the cats.
Yeah. Let's go to Tyler in Gordonsville. Tyler, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear
sir.
Hey, man. First-time caller, long-time listener. Just want to say I'm a home health PT, so I listen to all of y'all throughout the day, and I really appreciate it. But I'm gonna trump this dog and cat conversation. So I was running on our road. We live in a rural area, and I was running and found 4 kittens. And so, it was getting cold. It was starting to snow and things like that. So I obviously took them in. My wife said I had no other choice. So we have 2 dogs, a golden doodle and a cockapoo, and they are the best things in the world. But so I let these things, and my anticipation is to put them in the barn and let them be barn cats, get rid of snakes, mice, whatever. Well, they have found their way into my basement that has a dog door that the dogs used to use. So I've had to rearrange my entire basement, taking the pool table stuff away, taking whatever mats I have down for weights, they are, and cleaning 4 kittens in the litter box is absolutely miserable. So I'm just going to stick to my dogs and let them be smart and go and do what they got to do. But guys, I appreciate it, man. Y'all enjoy the day and God bless. I appreciate y'all taking my call.
Thank you, Tyler.
I didn't think about that. So virtually they snuck in on the doggy door, then just start tearing up stuff, clawing and then probably pooping around there.
Because if you declaw the cat, they can't go outside. Because, sometimes if a cat gets loose, they may not come back for a couple of days. And if they don't have their claws, they can't defend themselves.
I didn't even think about that.
It's very, it's very, you got to decide if when you have a cat, are you going to be okay with him being gone for a couple of days if they, kind of go outside and hunt or whatever? Because they'll bring you birds and, rodents and stuff from the outside.
Whoa, you didn't even tell me any of this.
Well, mine have all been house cats. We declawed all mine. So, yeah.
So the cat, God.
They are scary.
They'll bring back, see, that would make me nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, man.
You want a rabbit? They'll bring you a rabbit. You want a squirrel? They'll bring you a squirrel.
The rabbit. Yeah. Oh, I see them in my yard.
What if you looked out in the backyard and your cat was like, you saw feathers flying everywhere and the cat's just going ham on it?
Apparently declawing them is very inhumane. I didn't ever knew that.
Get away from the rabbit.
Apparently declawing them is very inhumane. So I guess that's another thing that changed from the 90s. I don't know.
I knew this would be an interesting topic.
I was going to say, I love that Tyler goes, long-time listener, first-time call, and I was like, in my head, because cats and dogs.
Everybody's getting really mad at me about declawing is kind of crazy.
You just tell them what some of the factors are. You didn't say you did your cat.
I mean, like, I'm not taking them outside or anything, but I mean, the 90s were a different time, I guess.
Oh, was it? So that people don't, declaw their cats now?
Yeah, I guess not.
You might get visited by PETA or something.
I guess so. Well, who cares about PETA? I ain't scared of PETA.
Dang, but if it brought back a bird and I'm just watching it eat a bird.
That ain't coming in my house.
No, see, I don't like any of that.
You don't want that? Get a little, pigeon or something.
With like, hey, man, don't be bringing nothing back up in here, man. my dog bringing some grass. He's up here trying to eat it. Something. Hey, man, because he start gagging and, all this nasty craziness. Yeah, and I should be feeding it enough.
All right, let's go to Tim in Brentwood. Tim, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Dang it.
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, this is really easy.
Okay.
To dogs, your family. To cats, you're the help.
There you go.
That's it.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Wow. You're just an overgrown butler for them. Living butler is what you are.
Yeah. Yeah, they running things. I don't know if I like that either. But I do like that I can just leave for a couple days as long as I need to and then come back.
Now, if
I've done that with my dog a couple times,
really?
By the way. Yeah.
I've never been. I would never be able to do that. I'd be a nervous wreck.
No. Let me. Okay. But I'll have somebody just go let them out.
Yeah.
One time each day.
Yeah.
Because I was gone for like a 4-day window. And I was like, hey, my neighbor, hey, just come in and let them out. They were like, oh, yeah, sure, we love, because, they'll watch the dog. So he was very familiar with them. So that was easy. So that's kind of like, you don't have to have a babysitter.
If they bring you a bird or something, you're required to eat it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, if a cat brings you a bird, you're required to eat it.
Is he lying to me? Please.
Because if you don't,
he said if he brings you a bird,
if you don't, they'll find it disrespectful, and then you'll really have lost
them.
The cat. Huh? They're offering it to you.
Oh, and then that's disrespectful.
Yeah, you got to defeather it and you got to cook it.
Oh no, Have you ever had bird?
No, I mean, chicken.
Not somebody bringing it to you. I mean, not your animal bringing it to you, but have you had bird?
No, I've not had a pigeon or anything.
Oh.
Let's go to Joey. Joey, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Oh, man.
What's up, Blaine, Zach? So, as being somebody in the blind community, I actually have both. Okay. I rescued a dog, and then also right there before Thanksgiving, I rescued a kitten. Uh-huh. So, like I said, I have them both. My dog, though, she's older, but like they get to along great. But it's with cats, even as a kitten, you have to worry because dogs, when they're puppies, they chew on everything. But cats, when they kitten, even up into their older years, they claw everything. So you either have to have a scratching post or, like Zach said, have them declawed so that they don't ruin all your stuff.
Oh.
Plus, like with male cats, you have to have them fixed at a certain age, or they will spray all your clothes, and all your clothes will smell like cat urine.
Ooh.
So yeah, and hey Blaine, it's good to talk to you again, man. I'm the guy that you took a picture with 2 years ago at the Thanking Forward at the winery with Griffin.
Yes. I mean, that was a special event. They haven't had nothing, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a blast, bro. And like I said, it was good to talk to you, and thank you for your support and everything like that, man.
Always.
Hey, thanks for that. That was a good event. I mean, I didn't get to go, but I remember having him in here to talk about it all, and that was really cool. Okay. Yeah, you guys spray your clothes apparently.
What?
I've never had to spray clothes. I mean, I guess I've never had cats pee on my clothes, so.
Oh, well, it has a certain smell, or I mean, like I don't know. If you in the litter, it doesn't, because the litter.
Yeah. Well, the litter will start to smell if you don't clean it for a while.
I just remember watching Curious George as a kid, and like if you got a skunk, if a skunk sprayed you, you had to do like a tomato juice bath. And all that.
Yeah. Well, a skunk sprayed my dog.
Really?
Yes, in my backyard, like about 7 years ago. It was at night too, like 9 o'clock at night. It was horrendous. It was crazy. My wife lost her mind.
What'd y'all do?
We did exactly what you're talking about.
The tomato juice
and something else. And then I was like, hey, we got to let the dog be outside for a little bit, let him air out. Because then it brought all of it inside the house. So then I thought I was going to have to do something internally in my house. I was like, oh, my God, the smell is in here.
Oof.
Oh, it was bad. Yeah.
Well,
and it just, it was, going around our fence, and the dog was like, running with it and trying to, get it and, just have fun and play. That thing was, I was like, oh no, it was horrible. It was, the smell was across the neighborhood.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, speaking of skunks, Nathaniel Hackett got hired last week to be the Dolphins quarterback coach. And now, just moments ago, multiple sources are reporting that he has taken the Cardinals offensive coordinator job.
So he skunked the Dolphins.
Skunked the Dolphins.
The skunked the Dolphins, yeah.
Oh, my.
sorry, that was a stray.
You guys are in it there, man.
All right.
Cool.
When we come back, we actually do have some football topics to talk about, but we'll listen.
This is the best topic
we'll
of the
talk
day.
the animals and the cats and the pets all dang show. We ain't going to be scared about it, but we are going to get to look in Hendersonville as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. And before we get to Luke on the line, we've been talking about, cats and dogs. But I just want to say this.
What's the difference between them?
Difference between them. But I have to say this. Birds suck.
Oh my! You had a bird?
I had a bird for about like a week or 2 weeks. We got it at the flea market in Alabama. We got a cage for it.
So what's
Those
that about
things
a
are
bird?
nasty animals. And they got
chirping all the time?
chirping all the time. And of course, we had cats at the time, so the cat just loved trying to get that bird. And
oh my gosh!
And it didn't last 2 weeks. We got rid of that bird. It was a parakeet, and it just kept chirping and chirping and chirping.
It was
they
scared
were
of the cats.
nasty.
You had a dang zoo.
Oh, it's nasty.
Oh, you may want to work at a zoo.
Oh gosh.
What do they do? You said it's nasty. Like it stinks all
you
the
got
time?
to change constantly be changing the newspaper you put at the bottom of the the bird cage. I mean, like at least 2 or 3 times a day, and that's at minimum because it's not like
that builds character.
Cat litter, at least has that fresh scent technology or whatever where it doesn't stink up, very quickly. But for birds, there was nothing for that. And they stink and all that kind of stuff. And they're the worst. They're the worst.
Oh, really? You've never had a bird?
No.
I've never had a bird. I have no idea if any of that's true. Wow.
Yeah, birds stink. They suck.
Oh, all the bird lovers call in and tell them they don't stink. Call in.
And I guess I do agree with your you were talking about your snow day, how when there's snow day on schools that they should do Zoom classes. I agree. Because I'd much rather do Zoom classes on a snow day than have to add days on at the end of the year. Now I don't know if they still do that, but
right. Yeah,
back in my day, a lot of people
was calling in, boy. They did not. They did not like that.
I'm sure the teachers did not love it.
Yeah, Ross got real busy back there with the phones on that one.
Oh, no one agreed with him. He was a one-man army.
If I was here, I would have agreed with you.
I was, pulling everybody's leg there, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
All right, let's go to Luke in Hendersonville. Luke, are you going to be able to get this show back on the rails?
Man, I'll do a good transition because I have 2 cats. They're awesome. Anybody that's considering get a cat, get a little robot. That way you don't even have to scoop or sift. There's so much self-sufficient. You don't got to take them outside to potty or have a fenced-in yard. Ours are indoors, so they've never brought birds, but they talk to them when they see them through the windows. But anyway, and I worked at a pet store for 2 years, like in my teenage years, and it was and a parakeet is kind of like a betta fish. Like there's some really, really cool birds, like sun conures, African grays, parrots, but they're like having another child. Like they require so much attention. But yeah, parakeet's probably not a great bird. Anyway, to get back on track, my question is this. If y'all remember, I think it was 2020 when Mike Vrabel called plays on defense. I know, and then I think it was the next year he relinquished, and we got a DC. I don't know if he's calling plays in New England or not, but my question is, I know Robert Saleh was really excited to call plays. What can make it be successful where, for whatever reason in 2020 with Mike Vrabel, it wasn't? Is it getting distracted? I know it's supposedly easier to call defensive plays as a head coach than it is offense, but what are some of the differences? How can we expect a lot of success where other coaches have tried and failed? All right, I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Luke. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Dean Pease not the defensive coordinator also in 2020? Wasn't he 19 in 2020?
I don't remember, but he was calling plays, I thought, and then I think Vrabel took over at some point during that time. I think Pease had a
no. He was 2018 and 2019.
Yeah,
and then 2020 was the year that we didn't have a defensive coordinator. Remember,
right, he never would name, but I felt like it was
Vrabel, and I would say for at least in that instance, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Vrabel wasn't a good defensive coordinator when he was at Houston. He was the 32nd ranked defense, then got the head coaching job. So maybe he's just not good at play calling. Whereas Robert Saleh has a longer history of play calling. So that's what I would take into effect there is that
it's different.
Is that Robert Saleh has had many, many years where he has been a play caller. Mike Vrabel had, I guess, technically one year.
1 year.
I mean, maybe you can count the college year. I'm not sure if he did he do just linebackers there?
Yeah, I don't think he called plays.
I don't think he was defensive coordinator, now that I think about it. So I would say that is the biggest difference. And the fact that also the other fact is that they didn't have even a name or only entitled defensive coordinator, right? So if you remember and recall, Luke, I remember it as a bunch of players when Shane Bowen was officially named in 2021 as defensive coordinator, that they were all thankful because now they have a clear communicator when Vrabel wasn't around. They didn't have clear communication from the staff in the game, so there was a lot of confusion in that 2020 offense or defense. So that's how I recall it, and that's where I would say, well, at least even if Robert Saleh is calling the defense, you still have a defensive coordinator. Mike Vrabel didn't even have a defensive coordinator in title, in power and responsibility, and it was just kind of split among the defensive staff and whenever Vrabel was in the room is how I remember that particular season going.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think Vrabel was actually calling the plays, or maybe partly calling the plays, and I think he was trying to keep from, his DC getting critiqued. And so he just said, we're all going to do it as a committee. But it worked. It ended up working for him, though, at least as far as the results when he did do that. I think everybody individually is a little bit different. So you just don't know if the pattern will continue the same maybe throughout history with play callers on defense to not being the play caller. One thing I can say, Saleh said that not knowing probably that he would get Gus Bradley, who is actually a play caller, probably that he trusts. That doesn't mean he's still going to call plays or not call plays, but I think he would be comfortable enough to say, hey, if I don't call plays, you can call the plays, and he can take the hit because he's the one up there, going to be asked those kind of questions. So, maybe it'll all work out, and then eventually, Bradley will call the plays. You just never know.
You just never know.
I'm telling you, I don't know if he knew he was going to get Bradley.
Yeah.
Like, he may have thought, there's a possibility, but I know what I want to do regardless.
And he did say, because we talked about this even before, a lot of his, what's funny, is a lot of his answers at the press conference were also the almost word for word, the exact same answers he gave to Josina Anderson, that podcast that we talked about, where he said he wanted to be play calling. And he did say it helps him connect to the game. So, I know that obviously Robert Saleh has caught a lot of plays, but this will be his first time doing defensive coordinator and the duties of head coach. But he feels that will give him a leg up in maybe game management, game flow, feeling what the players are feeling connected.
Yeah.
So I know that there are some cause for concerns because obviously Mike Vrabel here, and then you have play calling head coach Brian Callahan. But we have to understand there's different levels to each of those three guys in terms of experience as play callers and also success as play callers. Yeah. Like, I remember, and someone brought it up in the chat, I remember that Colts game where Dean Pease got sick and Vrabel called the plays and it was terrible. And I remember, I believe, isn't the rumor that allegedly in the second half of the Chiefs game that Mike Vrabel kind of took over play calling duty or changed the whole philosophy in the playoffs? Rumored. That's a rumor.
Or a groomer.
Or a groomer. But, that defense also kind of fell apart in the second half. So, again, I'm just saying, like, at least with Saleh, we have seen years of experience as a play caller and successful experience as a play caller.
Well, you just got to remember, the fans, this fandom, I just think, every case is different. Don't let the past scar you based off of their experience as a head coach or a play caller, offense or defense. You just never know. Every circumstance is just so different in their experience at it. So I want him to be free to be able to do whatever the heck he really wants to do that he think it'll help him be successful, and that means the team being successful. So if that's play calling, if that's I changed my mind, I'm gonna let Gus Bradley do it. Whatever it may be, he may find that now found that he wants to stay connected. He may say, "Oh no, I still want to call plays," even though he's really supposed to, be overseeing all three phases of the game. Maybe he loses sight in that, and when he's out there and not part of, game planning or calling the plays. So to each his own, and so we'll see how it goes. For right now, for me, it's all about let's wait till we start seeing actions in play calling. We want to critique what his answers were or weren't. At this time now, we just want to make sure we get the staff together, get the draft. I mean, man, worrying about what happened with a guy that had no experience at anything really is really, not the same situation.
Jael in the F&M Bank chat, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live, he says, does Houston head coach call defensive plays? He did up initially. Until the halfway point of this season. So he always has. And then he gave it to Matt Burke in the middle of the season. I don't know exactly what date or week, but at some point in the season he did.
See, that could be how it is with Gus Brown.
Right. And do you think that is a bad look if he were to give up play calling? Because again, you never know what's going to happen until you're in the chair. And he thinks that everybody will benefit from him being a defensive play caller, and specifically himself will benefit, but obviously his connection with the team. But if things start to go to the wayside and it's maybe not what he kind of thought it was, and he gives up play calling to Bradley, 3 or 4 weeks into the season, or maybe even in the offseason, he kind of realizes it's not his jam. Do you think that's a bad look? Because there's a couple people in the chat that say it is a bad look.
Well, I mean, once again, we got to wait till we get there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't judge, it's a bad look. Guess what? How about this? What if he's doing a great job and he's calling the plays, but all of a sudden he sees that there's some holes on the offense that he hadn't paid attention to in game moment, says, guess what, Bradley, I'm going to give you the play calling because I need to oversee the offense. I missed a few things here.
Right.
Because I was too busy making adjustments on the defense.
Like it.
See, so it could be in a positive light or a negative light. We have no idea why he would do it unless he told us.
Because ultimately, you are hiring him to be head coach.
Right.
Right? You're not hiring him to be
number one uno.
You're not hiring him to be defensive coordinator. So to me, I don't think it's a bad look either way, because even if he's given it up early, well, he tried it. It didn't work. He recognized that, hey.
You keep saying that. Well, that's what I'm not saying.
Well, I know you're not saying that. I'm saying that. I'm saying the negative way. I'm just, you gave another perspective. I'm giving the perspective of, let's say he gives it up because it isn't working. Well, at least he's recognized that it's not working.
Isn't working means that the defense is bad?
Maybe defense is bad for a couple of weeks and stuff. And it can be either way, right? It doesn't have to be just one way. But to your point, I just don't know if it's a bad look regardless. But I also don't think it's something to be overly concerned about either way. To your point, we got a long season to go. And I don't know if anything crazy like that's really going to happen in year one or anything like that, because I just have faith. The reason why I don't think it's going to be a bad look regardless, I just have faith in Robert Saleh's defense. So I think this is ultimately a moot point.
Right. That's what I would say. Let's wait till we get to the season, regardless of how they decide to go about that. But
and it's on results too. Like whoever calls the defense, if they're playing well, people are going to be happy. If they're not playing well, people are not going to be happy.
All you have to do is win. Right. I mean, everybody can talk about, I decided. They could do it and don't even tell us.
Right.
How will we know?
Because you know what's going to happen. Gus Bradley's going to have a play sheet. Robert Saleh's going to have a play sheet, and then all the bad plays are going to be one person. All the good plays are going to be the other person. That's how fans' mind works. What was it? It was Tim Kelly and Todd Downing when they were both on the staff at the same time. While the good plays are Tim Kelly, who is the tight ends coach, who may be calling plays, they say, because he has a play sheet. And then all the bad ones are Todd Downing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So for me, it's just like, I don't think it really matters in the big scheme of things, because I do think that you saw it with the Jets. You've seen it with San Francisco. He doesn't have bad defenses. He may have one bad year starting
that initial
out,
year.
And I don't know if he will even have that kind of bad year here, because I think he's going to be able to have more freedom with the resources that they have and the spots open to reshape the cornerback room. When he took over the Jets initially, they had a couple bad contracts you're kind of stuck with, and it took a year and a draft to kind of kick some of these guys out that didn't really fit his scheme. He gets kind of carte blanche to find the guys, or Borgonzi to find the guys that fit the scheme in free agency that has some cornerbacks, and in the draft that has some cornerbacks. So maybe there's not quite the ramp up time that you saw at the Jets, because this situation is just a little bit different from a financial and roster perspective.
Well, it's also pass rush. I mean, pass rush and the secondary is totally connected. Nobody ever thinks about that. That's why I thought I knew Saleh, at least at worst case scenario, is going to be a really good play caller defensively, because he did something that I hadn't seen in a long time. Name one of the pass rushers that were available when they played the Titans for the 49ers.
Oh, gosh.
I
I can name you the defensive line, but I can't name you the actual defensive ends.
When they played the Titans. And I'm like, hey, man, he's still getting production out of this defense with a secondary that's probably a solid, but not overly great, but solid, all across the board. A lot of guys with experience, and they still were holding the fort. I mean, that's tough to do against, probably the best division or, in this past season anyway. So I just like, hey, man, that's really tough. I mean, I think they had the least amount of sacks in the NFL. I may be close to the bottom.
I believe close to the bottom.
Yeah. And
but they were still, 13th in points allowed.
Right. See, that's what I'm getting at. And that shows he did more with less. And guess what? If you have more? So all you got to do is get one elite pass rusher, not say this is easy, and then get you a couple young corners outside of the guys that are here, and now teach the safeties how to play in your scheme and system, and then we're off and running. That sounds easy.
Do you know who is the defensive end that started the most games for him?
I have no idea.
This season?
This season.
I know what Bosa
started 12 games, and that's former Tennessee Titans defensive end Sam Okawanu. And he had 3 sacks on the year.
He had 3 sacks.
Yeah, he had 3 sacks. He was number 3rd in sacks.
Yeah.
So, pay the man.
So just imagine you take that when you're interviewing to I've never called plays before.
Yeah.
To the previous coach. So I have nothing to lean into that I developed anybody or did anything that made them to be great.
Right.
Right there. That tells you everything you need to know. So imagine if he has the right tools in the toolbox now to go out here and play.
I mean, guys like he was now listen, Bryce Huff is an undrafted free agent out of University of Memphis. He had a good year with the Jets. Yeah. But he's also a guy that only started 8 games, 4 sacks. He's tied with Clelin Ferrell with 4 sacks. That's the leading sack getter, 4 sacks. Now he's coming with Big Jeff, who had double-digit sacks. I mean, 4 is kind of crazy.
And a couple developing Sweat.
Yeah.
Hopefully Femi. And then you get somebody with that for a pig.
Yeah. I mean.
you love
somebody with that for a pig.
They had 20 sacks on the year.
I'm going to tell you this. The secondary is only as good as their front.
Yes.
It's just no way around it.
I mean, that's a testament to not only just the whole defense itself and him, but a testament to the linebackers and defensive backs that he had, because
they had to cover.
This is I don't know if the Tennessee Titans have had a worse sack hit season than they had, and they were 13th in points allowed.
It's like, hey, man, this guy ended up figuring out how he could be successful as a coordinator when he didn't have very much.
Yeah. One of those things was Diamador Lenore, the 5'10" cornerback out of Oregon, physical as hell.
Yep.
Played slot the majority of his time since being drafted. Robert Saleh gets there, and he moves him outside. Mm-hmm. So, and the guy played 1,000 snaps as outside corner, which is more than he's ever played outside corner ever in the NFL. And he did pretty well. Mm-hmm. That's the thing, is that just because you know what everybody else saw before Robert Saleh got there? They saw a slot corner.
Mm-hmm.
And he listen, Diamador Lenore is not like the typical corners that Robert Saleh likes. Exactly. When you look at height, weight, all that kind of stuff. But he didn't care and put him on and this was at the beginning of the year.
Got, Coach. Don't complain about what you don't got. Yeah. Work with what you got and put him in that kind of situation where he can win.
And to be honest, injuries hadn't started yet. So this was their starting outside corner.
From the jump.
Mm-hmm. And that's not your traditional looking Robert Saleh cover 3, Seattle 3 defender.
Tall,
and that's why
6'1".
go back to Tavondre Sweat. All you people who want to body shame him because he's 366. Let me tell you guys.
He's not that much.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Robert Saleh will make it work. As long as Sweat buys in to
Farrell-
everything they need
Wasn't
done.
Farrell a first-round pick? Was he?
Yeah,
that
but
he was
Farrell
Clemson?
was the Raiders?
Raiders.
Yes,
first-round
because he
pick.
was the one that people were like, "Whoa, they took him that high
Right.
in that
Yes.
in that
he had
draft, whatever year it
poop
was."
in the league yet.
Yep.
For this time, he was the first or second round from Clemson. Is that the same guy from Clemson?
Yeah.
Well, that was like when Clemson had all those guys,
those
but
dudes,
like
right?
no one expected Farrell to go that high, and he went like fourth or something. I think it was
man,
something
he-
crazy.
Fourth overall to the Oakland
Yeah.
Raiders at the time.
And he had how many sacks this year?
4 sacks.
And that was a career high, I'm sure.
Maybe pretty close. Let's see.
Wow, man. So,
That's his second highest total.
I think Salah's
4.5 his rookie year.
I think Salah's coaching style though just gets the most out of people just naturally. It's like it's when Mike Borgonzi talked about we want somebody demanding. I think he is demanding, but he does it in a way to where you like him, and it's like, yeah, I want to play for this guy, at least from a defensive perspective.
Okay, well, look who he drafted and played a lot of this year.
Who the?
My boy from Western Kentucky, Upton Stout, little 5'8" guy.
the
Little
slot.
Jim.
He was a
And
stud,
he
though.
was awesome this year for
He
them.
was a stud. Yeah, he like third round.
Third or fourth round.
And
Yeah, 'cause
Michael
he had a
Williams-
very heavy hand. If you notice, they drafted like 4 or 5 defensive players, and he has a very heavy hand in the draft for San Francisco this year on the defensive side.
Did he? Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Michael Williams got hurt, right? First
Yeah.
round pick. Dang, I had picked him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year when we did that thing.
He should have never done that. I could have told you that. But Upton Stout, I mean, had a pretty good year. And again, a guy from Western Kentucky, they immediately found a place in a Robert Saleh defense because he had discipline and he had mental, everything you're looking for, and he was so physical.
Yeah,
So-
it popped out on tape.
Oh,
knew
man,
he
I
was
loved
gonna-
him.
I thought he'd be the first like nickel guy to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of something like what you're talking about, and that guy may not be as aggressive, but he's just as smart. Just didn't have as good as the kid from Duke that
Yeah,
was at the
Chandler
senior.
Rivers, yeah.
It's really smart, understands pass, run, read concepts, and basically you're a linebacker, blitzer, and a cover guy. Those guys are very unique, and that's why he's talking about having a nickel coach.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to be somewhat linebacker-ish with aggressiveness.
Yeah.
And also it's like, I'm going to line up against receivers too.
I'm going to be physical. You got to be physical when you're in the slot, too, and being a nickel corner. All right, talk more Tennessee Titans when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Elam.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door and broadcasting live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports in Kentucky Downs. And listen, the Tennessee Titans draft class probably had some of the highest snapper rates in the league for a rookie class. I mean, all of them were pretty much playing, it felt like, besides Khalil Mullins and Jackson Slater. I mean, pretty much almost everybody ended up finding the field. And I'm sitting here looking at the drafted players for the San Francisco 49ers, and they had a really large draft class, by the way. They had, I think, 11 players drafted. 6 of them were defensive players. And all 6 found their way some form of fashion. I mean, Alfred Collins played in 16 games. Upton Stout played in 16 games. Marquez Sigel, a safety out of Kansas State, played 15 games. C.J. West played 14 games. Michael Williams played 9 games, and Nick Martin played 7 games. That's a lot of young defenders on this defense. And again, this is going to probably, depending on how free agency shapes up, another young defensive team, but also a young offensive roster as well. And I think that's where we talk about Saleh being a people person and connecting with people and leading through authenticity. I think that's another reason to have a little bit of hope that, yeah, Robert Saleh, his head coaching record, a lot of stuff that went on in New York, but here he's known as a player developer. And I just feel like this is a really good landing spot for Robert Saleh and this Tennessee Titans team. But specifically, when you have that many rookies playing on defense, it just feels like this is a guy that just gets the most out of his players each and every game.
You know, I get the skepticism by the fan base, because you got to, gain trust. Over the last couple of years, it just feels like everything was always going wrong with any decision that coaches made at any points in time. So I think, I think our view and trust in what he has done tells us who he will be, at least initially. And play calling and picking defensive guys and all that should be right up his alley. So I just, be interested to see how much they do take a lot of defensive players, because we do need some. Man, and definitely a corner. There's some holes there.
I mean, you got really one starting. I mean, really, you don't have you have a guy like Darrell Baker Jr., who we know can start for multiple games over a course of a season. Mm-hmm. And he could be dependable. We got Marcus Harris. Now, I think he was only on a 1-year contract, so you'd have to re-sign him. Marcus Harris.
Come on, Baker.
Yeah, Baker. Marcus Harris is a rookie. Played pretty well for a rookie, but I have no clue what he's going to be in this system. He had to play inside, outside for the Tennessee Titans due to injuries and trades and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what he is in this system, and I don't know what year 2 looks like for him. So essentially, you need 5 more corners. I mean,
5 more?
That's what it feels like, right? You need 6 corners in today's NFL, especially with the injuries they suffered last year, but it feels like you need 6 corners. And it just doesn't feel like...
How do you even get that many in the draft? You can't do that.
You have to do free agency and the draft. I mean, now some of those guys are going to be like Darrell Baker Jr., right? Okay, you re-sign Darrell Baker Jr., you just need 5.
Well, if he's available, he may go to another team.
Yeah, he may go to another team. But like... You're going to have to, some of those are going to be like undrafted free agent types or the development types or guys that, are maybe a little older that could just provide you some stability in case of injury. But typically on a depth chart, you'd probably like to have 6 defensive backs. Now, the roster math may not be there for you to keep 6, but ideally, you probably want 6 good ones. Well, what does Robert Saleh feel about Jalen Armour-Davis, right? I mean, maybe... He wants Jalen Armour-Davis.
Was he on a 1-year deal, or was
I think his deal was up.
Oh, really? Oh, because he.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's what I'm getting at. Reason why I say that is because him, Elam, and Baker all look the part. And when I say that, I'm talking about the long arms, lengthy cornerbacks, which I think is what Saleh and Berganzi, by the way, would want. So we shall see how much that looks. And then if that is the case, then they'll move Harris inside, who's still long for a nickel guy. but I don't think he's long enough maybe to be the outside guy, at least how they want him to look. I think he can play both. So that'll be interesting to see what direction they go based off availability and free agency and then, price of those guys as well as what they do in the draft, man, because I hear that. You say they need 5. So you're going to have to take one in the second, 4th?
Let me tell you something. I think if they
man.
didn't double dip both in free agency and the draft, I'd be very surprised.
Oh, no, I think they'll do that.
Yeah.
But, when you start talking about 5 guys.
Yeah.
And then you say,
I think they'll draft 2 corners and sign 2 corners. That's my feeling.
2 corners. Like, at what price?
I think one of them's going to be second round. But, I kind of come around.
Sign.
Yeah. Well, sign, that just
2.
kind of depends. I'm looking at Julian Neal for the draft. And I'm thinking that guy seems like a second round lock if he is there for the Tennessee Titans. I'd bet some money on it. But that's just a gut feeling. Now, we still got the draft process to go. I still got more tape to dive into for Julian Neal. But he just seems like, just based off the Senior Bowl, I was like, man, that guy it's kind of the feeling I got with Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is like, that guy kind of feels like a Tennessee Titan.
What was his measurables?
He was over 6 feet. I'll have to pull it up.
In the SEC, right?
Yeah. He's a big, tall guy.
So it's gonna be tough. Because who is a free agent outside of Taylor, the veteran free agents? Because you don't want to.
We got Rick Woolen, Lante Taylor, Cam Taylor, Britt, and there's another one I'm thinking of. It's not a deep pool, but there are some there. All right, coming up next, speaking of the draft, we're going to talk about what was said about Ty Simpson, and he may not be a first rounder. How much do we actually believe that? But before that, it's Winning Wednesday on 104.5 The Zone with Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball as it comes to Nashville's Municipal Auditorium for Season 5, now through March 1st. Be caller number 5 now to win 2 tickets to Game 8 next Wednesday at Nashville Municipal Auditorium. 615-737-1045. Listen every Wednesday for chances to win tickets. See the weekend games that feature top talent on the court, including Aisha Clark, Tina Charles, Anisha Morrow, and many more. Go to auprobasketball.com to learn more. AU Pro Basketball, our court, our game.
New year, new goals. And the first goal is to get some of these LBs off the midsection. And the approach to weight loss at Edge Peptide Hormone Therapy is a little bit different. We make sure all the patients have extensive lab work and face-to-face conversations in office with our nurse practitioner to create a customized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs. They use only U.S.-based FDA-audited compounding pharmacies because knowing where your peptides come from always matters. Got to be safe, right? You also get to enjoy access to their in-body scanner to track weight loss and make sure you're maintaining all that muscle mass that you have gained, as well as lowering your A1C, keeping your cravings in check, prioritizing protein, and having someone guide your journey from start to finish. So call the team at Edge Peptide for all of your wellness questions at 615, of course, 724-1878. That's 724-1878. You can go check them out online at edgepeptide.com.
Good afternoon from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Ross Johnston. Tennessee won their fourth straight game last night, 84-66 over Ole Miss. Freshman Nate Ament continues to stay hot as he led the Vols with 28 points to go along with 6 boards. In NFL news, the New York Jets have hired former Panthers and Colts head coach Frank Reich to be their new offensive coordinator. Also, the Arizona Cardinals have hired former Packers and Jets OC Nathaniel Hackett to be their new offensive coordinator. In NBA news, the Dallas Mavericks have traded Anthony Davis and multiple players to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Middleton, 3 other players, and 5 future picks. Also, the Philadelphia 76ers are trading their 2024 first-round pick Jared McCain to the Oklahoma City Thunder. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. We were talking about the NFL draft, and there was a little nugget dropped about Ty Simpson in the middle of a mock draft. Okay, so
it wasn't Diego?
Wasn't Diego. So
okay.
Matt Miller, of ESPN, longtime draft analyst, did his first mock draft after the Senior Bowl this week. And all of a sudden, he goes like first round, first pick, Mendoza,
and Ty Simpson,
Arvell Reese, and all this stuff. Went all the way through the first round, no Ty Simpson.
Ty Simpson was not at the Senior Bowl.
He was not at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
But went through all the first. Well, apparently he may have been at the Senior Bowl, but not in the stand or like as a spectator or something. I don't know. I had a very loose rumor about that, but I don't know how much I trust the messenger on that. But so then he has Ty Simpson going to the Jets in the second round.
What round? Oh, but pick. That's high, pretty high. Huh?
Yeah. And he says, Simpson, quote, Simpson doesn't have a round 1 grade on my board. That's okay. There's typically these draft analysts only have like 14, 15 round 1 grades anyway. And I couldn't find a single team that would give him one during conversations at the Senior Bowl. Now, that is pretty crazy because he obviously got offered a lot of money. But he chose to enter in the draft. He's got, 16, 17 starts. We know that's not a lot of starts, and a couple of those came from prior seasons.
Mm-hmm.
How much do we believe? Okay, first off, do we believe that he's really going to go in the second round?
You want to hurt it, so you tell us.
I mean, I just read it.
Right.
But
you guys believe what y'all hear and see instead of.
I have a hard time believing this one.
Yeah, he has to go first round.
Right? I mean, now he may not go in the top 5.
Right, but
If Ty Simpson's sitting there at the Rams' second first-round pick,
who are the quarterbacks that are better than him? Let's just start.
Well, that's the thing. It's just Fernando Mendoza going in the first round.
Right.
And you're trying to tell me, okay, let's look at this just real quick. The Rams have 2 first-round picks this year. At worst, they're 29th.
They'll take him in a heartbeat.
And they're 13th.
They'll take him in a heartbeat.
You're going to tell me they're not going to, that McVay, to allow Ty Simpson to sit behind Matt Stafford, isn't going to take him?
Oh, my. I
have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, that one there, man.
I mean, even like the Steelers, would they get
guys being real
fancy?
coy here.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Maybe haven't done their due diligence because they didn't expect them to come out.
Right. And to Ross's point, Pittsburgh's sitting at 21. Mike McCarthy can work with Ty Simpson behind the scenes.
Somebody's going to take a chance on him if
I just can't get. I mean, Cleveland
got to.
Okay, even Cleveland has 2 draft picks in the first round, and they're not going to take one.
No, man, they have Washington Shador.
Well, I mean, listen.
And Gabriel, by the way,
I just have a hard time believing that Ty Simpson's going to be in the. I think that's going to be one of those like really cold takes.
Hey, that's a tough one there, man. I think he is.
I just think there is maybe teams are floating rumors down. They don't want anybody to know that they have a first round grade on them. And maybe that's what is getting passed on to Matt Miller, just rumors, kind of like what Stoney just put in there. But I just have a hard time looking at a couple of these teams. I mean, the Jets. You tell me Frank Reich wouldn't probably do something with Ty Simpson? The Jets have 2 first-round picks. The Rams have 2 first-round picks. The Browns have 2 first-round picks. Pittsburgh is sitting there needing a quarterback. That none of those teams are going to be that interested in Ty Simpson that they're not going to take him in the first round. I don't know. This is a mock draft. But I found that particular excerpt so interesting because I'm thinking, okay, maybe they don't have first round grades on them, but there's a lot of players that get drafted in the first round that don't have first round grades. You're letting that fall all the way down the draft board into the second round? I just have a hard time believing it.
Yeah. I've said what I had to say. He's a first round pick to me, so hey.
They had him going number 44 overall.
Well, it's his first go round. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do more.
I'll be interested to see how much that changes. You know, nobody ever holds the mock draft people ever accountable, but I'm going to be interested to see how much that changes over the course of the season. Because I think that Ty Simpson, in that Matt Stafford offense, or with the learning behind Matt Stafford for a year, I totally see it working for them. Now he's got to sit for a year, maybe. Now, maybe Mike McCarthy or some other people view it differently, but that would be a great scenario for the Rams. I just find it really hard that they're going to pass up on a quarterback at either of those spots and let that guy fall all the way to 44. I can't get behind that one. Just like I can't get behind the Tennessee Titans drafting an offensive lineman in the second round either. That would also happen in that mock draft, but...
Man, I'm looking at a lot of teams. I'm looking at the draft order, and the first 2 picks, even the third pick, Arizona. You don't know what direction they're going.
Okay, Miami.
Miami. I'm scrolling down. Watch this. Don't be shocked. And I keep saying this, but nobody thinks that. The Chiefs. Watch this. Andy Reid. Didn't he have Alex Smith when he drafted Mahomes? Oh, he did. Late in the round, first round. Later in the first round.
Yeah, well, there's a new decision maker in Minnesota, right? They just fired their GM. Yeah, J.J. McCarthy didn't look good.
Where are they picking? I haven't
18.
13 is the Rams.
Hey, Detroit may need to be thinking of the quarterback of the future.
Minnesota, yeah. Oh, man, this is the Steelers is 21.
I'm just saying, you look at that list and you're like, there's just no way. Because I don't think this is a Will Levis situation, right? Like, everybody had Will Levis pegged in the first round, blah, 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 blah. But, like, the tape is the tape, and Ty Simpson's tape is better than Will Levis's. And there were rumors that people tried to trade up in the first round for Will Levis. And then I'm also thinking, with the way that the draft has fallen and how quarterback needy some of these teams are, I don't know if he's going to go in the top 5. I'd probably kind of bet against him going in the top 5, but I don't think he's going to go in the second round. I mean, because I think he's going to ace everything you put in front of him in the rest of the offseason process. I think he's going to look good at the combine, look good at pro days. He has good film. He's probably going to interview very well. He's going to be able to do
What do the Jets need? They need a quarterback, right? They're the third pick.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do.
Oh,
they do have 2 picks, so do you wait?
Pick, right?
Yeah, they have the second pick, but they also have the 16th pick.
Oh, they're the second pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sixth. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that think they're going to take Arvell Reese and go defense with that pick because defense may be better than the quarterback, but we also always know there's a quarterback draft and the rest in an NFL draft.
The Jets also have 3 first rounders next year, I believe.
Yeah, they have a lot of first rounders too next year, so they may wait till next year. Maybe
that's what I'm saying.
But like, if you're Aaron Glenn, do you have next year promised to you?
No,
if you're the GM,
do
you have next year promised to you? Even if you have it promised to you, you better have gotten an ironclad contract lawyer writing. Because Woody Johnson's going to fire you if you have another season like next year. I don't care about your rebuilds and all that kind of stuff. So, again, I don't know.
But Ty Simpson's going to the Jets, whether it's 3rd or the 16th pick.
I just would be so surprised.
Do you think there's any chance it gets to, in Aaron Glenn's mind, I might be going down, this could be it? Do I want to go out with a rookie quarterback, or do I want to try to sign a veteran? Because we just saw...
You got to do both. I mean, you're just going to have to.
Well, if you look at the history of the National Football League, if you draft a quarterback in the first round, you're fired the next year.
Well, that is true. Aaron Glenn just may be screwed.
Someone's got fired mid-year.
Yeah, I mean, with Brian Callahan, right? Like,
but
it wasn't just him. There were other guys. And so the only one to not do it was Zach Taylor, and he got Joe Burrow. And I hate to say it, Ty Simpson ain't Joe Burrow.
No,
so like Aaron Glenn may just be screwed either way.
Maybe a better athlete.
Yeah. But I mean, to the point, like you got maybe in this draft class 2 real quarterback options that could potentially start for you in the NFL. Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson have the 2 best odds. Fernando Mendoza's off the board, and as Stoney says, if he's off the board, everybody's going to be scrambling for Ty Simpson. So how in the hell is he going to go in the second round?
It's impossible.
Impossible. All right, when we come back, we'll take more of your draft questions, 615-737-1045, because this does affect the Tennessee Titans, even if he doesn't go in the top 5 of who may be available for Tennessee Titans at 4. We'll talk more about that as well. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
There are a lot of things Americans split 50-50 on, like politics, working from home versus the office, coffee versus, yours truly, tea. But there's one thing we all agree on. Hey, it's Blaine Bishop. Taking your car in for repairs can be complicated. And your repair is only as good as the person under the hood. And most of the problems in fixing your vehicle is knowledge issue by the guy doing the mechanic working on your car. And not someone trying to just, rip you off. Yeah, well, it feels that way. And a lot of techs are not properly trained. So they end up guessing what to do, and that causes delays in getting your vehicle back or repeat visits for the same freaking issue. And for around a quarter century, Eurofix has done things differently. Every visit starts with a free 15-minute no-rinse inspection, so you know what's going on before we start the work. And Eurofix pays its technicians more than any other company does to attract the best and the brightest talent around. And Eurofix still fixes European vehicles at below dealer pricing with a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all the work Eurofix performs. And rental cars are available. Locally owned, family run with 5 locations and more to come in the state of Tennessee. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can check them out online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Hey, it's Zach Lyons. If you wear glasses, you already know the struggle. I'm constantly looking for them, waking up blind without them, knocking them off the nightstand. Don't get me started on vacations. Swimming, forget it. Fogging up, smudges, scratches. My whole day revolves around these things so that I can see. And the truth is, I've been dealing with blurry vision for years. Glasses help, but they're also a hassle. And lately, I've been seriously thinking there has to be a better way. That's when I started hearing from colleagues here at Cumulus who had vision correction done by Dr. Horn at Vision for Life. And every single one of them said the same thing. They wish they'd done it sooner. So I did my homework, read the reviews, and decided it was time. I'm going to have my vision corrected by Dr. Horn. We're just a few weeks away from the surgery, and I'll walk you guys through the experience step by step before, during, and after. If you're tired of dealing with glasses, contacts, or blurry vision, don't keep putting it off. Call Vision for Life at 615-436-2020 or visit visionforlife.com to schedule your consultation. I'll keep you posted, and trust me, I'm excited to finally see clearly. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. And hey, don't forget, join 104.5 The Zone at T-Line Nashville as we broadcast live starting at 10 a.m. with the Buck Rising Show, followed by us, Cover 2, and 3HL for our Sweep, Sip, and Snack Curling Challenge on Thursday, February 12th. Grab your team, hit the ice, and test your skills. Whether you're a seasoned curler or a first-time sweeper want to try the sport, purchase a ticket for discounted ice time that gets you a 30-minute curling session and an appetizer for only $24. To get tickets or for more info, visit 1045thezone.com/events. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Lewisburg. Dan, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Hey, got a question here. Last year in the draft, Will Campbell, I think he was like the fourth pick in the draft, and the Patriots took him, and the biggest bad pitch about him was supposed he had short arms.
Mm-hmm.
But he came into the league this year, after being drafted. They said that he was able to adjust and overcome what would be maybe a liability with the short arms, but he adjusted the way he played, and he's been, here they are in the Super Bowl with him. So my question is, even though he's an offensive guy and Ruben Bain's a defensive guy, I mean, can he not be a successful piece for us if we draft him as Campbell was with the Patriots? And I'll jump off and listen to y'all.
Yeah, Dan, I do think with Ruben Bain, he is a bona fide disruptor. And yes, he does have the arm issue. But I also say this, Will Campbell has not been very good in the playoffs against a lot better teams with a lot better defensive pass rushers. But he has had a solid rookie season for a left tackle with the arm measurements that he had. I do think Ruben Bain, though, on defense can be that kind of Terrell Suggs kind of guy where he's got the power, he's a disruptor. I just don't know how much it will actually turn into sacks.
That's I think he's going to be a good player. Just is he going to be number 4th pick? Good. I think that's the question. That's when you start getting into all these measurements. Some teams lean into measurables a little bit more than others, and some lean into production and let the eye in the sky not lie to yourself, because, certain characteristics you got to have to be successful at every position. But that's not always the case. As, the caller brought up Will Campbell. And, I've watched him a little bit. I think he's been average at best. I think he also was playing with a knee injury, too.
Mm-hmm.
But he started off okay, and, then they started giving him help. So, could that be just more because he needs to adjust to the league and what it has to be? Or does he have quicker feet than most with short arms so that compensates for what he loses in length? So with Bain, I think he's, speed to power type guy, even with one arm without the length. So will that keep him from being a superstar type player? Maybe. And sometimes people lean into, let's get the guy that has all the measurables and is getting somewhat close to that production. Whether he's a disruptor or not, I think right now we have disruptors.
Yeah.
So I would go with more of a guy.
Kind of need a finisher, right?
I need the guy that's going to get after the quarterback. I don't know if that's Bain or Bailey or whoever it may be, Reese. But I haven't watched tape on him. But I'm always open. But you got to remember who I am and how I got my shot. I didn't meet the measurables, and that's why I was late in the draft. So it doesn't matter if you have great acumen. You got to find ways and figure out what's the best way for you to be able to be productive. In my position, length didn't matter as much. That kept me from playing corner. Well, this guy, where else is he going to go? He's going to go to D tackle. If it doesn't work, then now we're in the same spot we were or are with J.C. Latham. Oh, do we keep him outside? Do we move him inside? I mean, you start going down these roads. You got to say, hey, man, we just got to leave him there and see what he can be. So 4th pick, there's a lot of pressure. He's got to have production immediately. If we don't get 5 sacks out of him being the 4th pick or more, man, I'd be disappointed. So if he can produce, I'm all with it, man. It's guys like him. Let's say, did Freeney meet all the measurables? He's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
I don't think he met all the measurables because the way he's built, he was kind of a stocky guy. So, you know what I would say about Bain, personally? He just needs to get in a little better shape, a little chubby around the gut. And when I say that, I'm talking about guys who are pass rushers. Look at all the great ones. They don't look like that.
Right.
So you got that college, thing going on where you just kind of eat what you want, get
baby fat.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of the baby fat.
So, you got to pay attention a little bit that more. Does that give him that half a step or that, half inch of length that he needs where he has that step? Because the guy's explosive and he's powerful.
Well, when you have length concerns, you got to find other ways to maximize your potential.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Very well said. So, hey, man, I haven't delved into him. But man, I tell you one thing, man, in the bright lights, he's always showed up.
It's the other times that he hasn't shown up there where there's a long drought.
No, was it?
Yeah.
Was there some time during the season?
Yeah. So that's what kind of concerns me with a little bit of Ruben Bain.
Get some guys with some length, huh?
Maybe. I will say this for those that
who
were picking fourth, right? The way that I heard Dane Brugler put it recently, his top 4 players come from Indiana and Ohio. Miami ain't in Indiana or Ohio. It's in Florida. So and that's what Dane Brugler has: Fernando, Caleb Downs, and I don't know if this is in order, but these were the 4 players he's referencing: Fernando Mendoza, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, and Arvell Reese.
Okay, so he's saying Reese. I would take, just off the cuff, I would probably take Bailey over Reese. There's a risk there with Reese, and you don't see him. He's playing multiple positions, and I just, oh, man, that's terrible. He's super athletic, but I saw him play more linebacker the games that I watched live than he did pass rush. So I was just like, I can't even see him pass rush. Like, well, I don't know what he is. Where the guy from Texas Tech, you could see him pass rush. You could potentially.
And he's got moves.
Yeah,
I mean, like, that's the other thing. I like a guy with a lot of moves already that you can kind of work with.
Man, I like him. So I'm trying to figure out if I like Bain or him more. But
yeah, they're two different style players, and they have two different, I feel, fits to what traditionally you see from Robert Saleh. But he's going to make either of them work. And so, are you going to get a guy that maybe has the production and finishing ability, or are you going to get a guy that's the disruptor that has maybe strength? Because I will say, you put Ruben Bain, Tavondre Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, and even Femi Oladejo right there. That's a lot of fast, violent players.
Boy,
and what do they want?
Good on
That's
paper,
a lot of strength, right?
Ooh, man,
but then if you replace David Bain or Ruben Bain with David Bailey, that still sounds like a pretty good front four.
Yeah.
With Femi Oladejo being the weak chain in either of them, but he still would fit what this Tennessee Titans defense theoretically is going to look like in our head.
Yeah.
Now, they could get in here and they could just blow it all up and change something totally different, but theoretically, it's what it kind of feels like.
They're in a win-win situation if they're looking in that direction as far as pass.
I mean, because if you end up with Arvell Reese, David Bailey, or Ruben Bain, that's a win for the Tennessee Titans. They may not be your most favorite prospect, and you may have them ordered 1 through 3 in some different way, different from me, different from Blaine, different from Ross. That's still a win for the Tennessee Titans because there's a good chance with this Ty Simpson stuff, maybe he doesn't go in the top 5. Maybe it is Fernando Mendoza and 3 defenders. But even if you end up with a Caleb Downs or Jeremiah Love at 4, that's still really good for the Tennessee Titans, depending on what they do with running back. That's still 2 good players. And I would say that Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Love were the 2 best players in this entire draft, and I think they're going to be a victim of the position that they play. But I would say Caleb Downs his tape is so good. It is so fun to watch. But again, I just don't think that I feel like 4, you wish you could trade down. And just because you want to trade down doesn't mean the phone actually rings. But at the same time, if you're at 4, you're getting a really good player, regardless of what you got. It just depends on how good is that NFL ceiling when you're projecting these players.
Sound like you like Caleb Downs to go 4.
I mean, in this system, I wouldn't rule it out. We got your phone calls rolling in, 615-737-1045. I'm going to put a few of you on hold while Ross comes over. Let's go to Caleb in Spring Hill, though. Caleb, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, y'all. Big fan of the show.
Thanks.
How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about, so I know y'all were just talking about obviously the defenders coming out of with Ruben Bain and David Bailey, but I think Arvell Reese, obviously he's a unicorn. He's a stud on that side of the ball. I mean, if the Titans if he did fall, I believe that is the best pick for Tennessee.
Wait, are you playing him at linebacker or pass rusher? What are you playing him at?
I mean, I think he could be both. You could drop him in the coverage on like maybe second down and then send him when you need to. Both could be good, but I think we definitely need to address the pass rush in the early picks. But then maybe later on, we could trade down later on in the draft and try to get a late receiver. I mean, Cam Ward, he needs weapons. Like, some of these guys, they're not going to cut it. Like, if we could get maybe KC Conception late on or Denzel Boston out of Washington, he's great. That's just my opinion. That was my question. I want to hear if y'all would agree with me on that.
Well, let me ask you a question just real quick. Are you concerned that Arvell Reese isn't even the best linebacker on the team? Because Sonny Styles is a better player than him. In fact, I think that was actually Dane. It just hit me. That's Dane Brugler's fifth guy, is Sonny Styles. So that, I mean, I'm just saying.
But that was at linebacker, though. See?
That is at linebacker, but I mean, I guess I can't get around with it, and that's the concern with me is that I don't even think he was the best defender on his team. He was the third best defender on his team. I think Caleb Downs is number 1. I think Sonny Styles is number 2. And I think Arvell Reese is number 3. Now, they're all really good players in their own right.
But that doesn't matter, though.
It doesn't matter.
That he was the third best player. I mean, Derrick Henry was probably the best player on his college team, right?
That is true.
He went second round.
Yeah.
So, but it's position, and that's what it tells you what is of value to the National Football League. It naturally starts with quarterback, pass rusher. You know, the safety is kind of we need a safety. In my mind, hey, there's nobody who loves Caleb Downs more than I do.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be a superstar. But guess what? We have Winston, who is a projected first round, and we have Hooker, who we gave an extension. So in my mind, that's out the window.
It's out the window.
Now some people say, we go 3 safety. Well, we're going to take him at 4?
Yeah.
For the 3 safety look? Nah, I don't think I do.
And you got to remember
other things now. Like the priority where we want.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's like I just go running back. Is he a game changer? If he's a game changer, okay, I'll buy into that. But if he's not, we're not taking a running back.
But here's the question, though, too, and to your point, what you're saying, taking a safety or taking a running back, whoever you draft it for gets paid the same regardless of position. Because of how the NFL draft works, it's all tier-based. Yeah. So if you draft an edge at 4. But I
don't care about pay. It's about need.
I know it's about need, but I'm just saying you're talking about you just don't draft safety or running back.
I'm talking about the Titans, and I gave you the example why they would not.
A larger scope is what I'm saying is that, like, they may fall.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, teams are like, well, if I could pay
I'd be stunned if Downs is not a top 10 pick.
Yeah, it would be. I would be stunned if they're both not top 10 picks. But I think they're really deserving to be top 5 picks. But the problem is that this may just be a draft where it does not necessitate
be a draft with not elite quarterbacks. But
you just never know.
But with one, I just that'll be interesting. I'd be stunned as much as I love Caleb Downs that they'd take a safety at 4 because of Winston, who was a first-round prospect before he tore his ACL. Right. Let's not get that wrong. I mean, so I don't think I would go that route. Not this year. No way. Yeah, that's a tough one there. I got to watch some more film of Arvell Reese. They call it.
I just am not there where everybody else is.
What's his stats? Like, that's what I was looking up. Like,
well, I mean, I'll say this.
Numbers.
Listen, he's got, now PFF rounds up, so I guess I should probably go look at Pro Football or College Football Reference, but he has 8 sacks from his position. But his pressure rate is lower than Sonny Styles. Now, Sonny Styles wasn't asked to pass the rush to passer a lot, but when he did, he was more impactful when he rushed the passer. Sonny Styles is better in coverage. I mean, again, where are you putting Arvell Reese as a stand-up, pass rusher? Or are you putting him at linebacker? What is he in today's NFL? And listen, maybe the people who think he's at Micah Parsons, the tape does not match that to me. I don't even think the tape is as good as Jalen Walker's tape last year.
It says he only had 6.5 sacks.
Yeah, so the PFF rounds up. They don't give half sacks, so that makes sense.
Okay.
So, like, for me, it's just like
you said 8.
Yeah, they round up, so they don't do half sacks.
Well, 6.5 because of 7.
No. They every half sack that you get, so there may be multiple half sacks, is one. You get what I'm saying? To make it to the 6.5,
they can't do that.
Yeah, I know.
They can't do that.
That's how they do it.
They have a lot of issues.
Perspective there.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I mean, Stoney says the Illinois game is the one that he's heard that you have to watch if you want to see Reese's prowess rushing the passer. So that's one game that we've all heard. So is everybody just making their assumption based off one game?
Well, he's 6'4", 243.
Yeah.
So he's got some length to him.
I don't know. I think the guys that are kind of like that hybrid guy, like Jalen Walker when he came out last year from Georgia, and I think he was number 11 from Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, was his number. And then
he's 11 on the Falcons.
11 on the Falcons, but I didn't know if he was Georgia too.
That's Julio Jones. No, just kidding.
And then Micah Parsons, I thought had vastly more superior tape.
I'm gonna go back and watch because every time I watched him, he played mostly linebacker. I'm gonna go back and watch the Illinois game. He played pass rusher because, man, the reason why I say that, I'm gonna put pause on that. That's about the size of Javon Curse.
Yeah,
I ain't saying he's Javon Curse and he's a freak like that. But if he can run and he runs like a 4.4, you can't.
So I guess you would need to really.
I think he's the guy.
So in that respect, if when you go back and watch it, are you going to watch it when his hands in the dirt mainly?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
but I am also going to watch him standing up.
Yeah, because I mean you have to, right? Moves. You got to get your bang out of your the most bang for your buck, and that is going to be moving him around.
Well, but here's what coaches do. They also say, well, if it doesn't work, he can play linebacker for us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know how.
Maybe it's going to be him,
right? I don't know.
Cedric Gray and James Williams.
You just don't know.
It'll be interesting to see.
He may on third down or passing situations go into pass rush mode.
Yeah. It will be interesting. I just don't think his tape is. I feel like the collection of the games that I have watched, and I have not watched all the games, but the collection of games I've watched have not matched up to the Micah Parsons or the Jalen Walker quite yet for me.
Real quick, I don't know if you were watching tape. How would you compare Caleb Downs to, someone on the chat, Eric Berry? Eric Berry was the best college safety I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he was phenomenal.
Caleb Downs is good, but I don't think he's University of Tennessee Eric Berry good.
No, he
was another level.
I was like, oh my God, this guy is.
Caleb Downs is, but when you compare to the other players in this particular draft class, like Caleb Downs is better than most of these players, but I don't think he's better than Eric Berry.
Very true. Yeah, Eric Berry was at college. Oh my gosh.
All right, coming up next, more of your phone calls. We'll go to Fernando and Quinn. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number.
Yes, no doubt.
Let's go to Quinn in Murfreesboro. Quinn, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
It's Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn of the Legion of Boom.
Hey, I just wanted to call and talk real quick about some free agency and draft choices that we might make and see how y'all thought about it. So what if we got Trey Hendrickson in free agency? I just wanted to see how you felt like that might change our draft board. And I'll hang up and I'll listen.
Hey, thanks. I definitely think it would change, how they kind of view the draft board. But also, I'm not sure that Trey Hendrickson is the move for the Tennessee Titans. He's coming off an injury-riddled season. He's a little bit older. He's going to command, or at least want, I guess I should say, a lot of money. I just don't know if I'm really feeling some Trey Hendrickson here.
He's on the one-year deal.
They redid his deal. So I'm just not technically feeling it. And I do wonder, the Bengals do have a lot more cap space than they have in the past. And I do wonder if maybe they don't strike up a deal to keep it going with Trey Hendrickson. But I don't know how I feel about bringing in him here. And, little injuries, a little older, a little too expensive, just doesn't really make me excited, I guess. But it would change how you would perceive your draft board.
This was an interesting because I'm a big fan of his, and he stayed healthy to pretty much the majority of his career to this last season. So that's a tough one, and especially I just looked him up. He's 31, so I'm assuming he's going to be 32 or sometime. There's elite pass rushers, and he is one. End up, they get to the 33, 34, 35, and his style isn't built on super athleticism. It's built on speed to power and moves. He has multiple
core muscle injury that he had to have surgery on.
Yeah, I had that abductus longus, and that's no fun, man. None of that is cool. So that can affect you because that's your core. And that's where all your power for all those people who don't know when you're running and jumping and everything else. So that's a tough one when you get up there. I would be very interested to see if I did a 1-year deal with him, whatever the going pass rate or pay rate is for pass rusher of his ilk and with some incentives. I would be open to that. I would, just because I know what he can bring to the table. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? We just pay him a base salary, whatever. Let's say the number is $8 million, whatever it is, for a guy like that. And I definitely, man, I like that. And he can teach Femi, some of the young guys.
Yep.
He can give them some tips, so, and how he studies, moves. I mean, it's valuable. I don't know if the Titans are kind of in that situation quite yet, but it would be something I would ponder and have conversation about.
Yeah.
For sure, I would.
Let's go to Fernando in Hermitage. Fernando, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Love the show. So I got a funny story, football related, not Titans related. So I'm a third-generation Mexican-American guy. And for the longest, whenever I go to a restaurant, put in an order, and they say, can we have a name? And I say, Fernando. They're like, how do you spell that? And then I go like, just put down Alex. So a lot of the times when I call you guys, I go by Alex. But check this out. The other day, I called in a restaurant, placed an order, and they're like, can we have a name? And I say, yeah, it's Fernando. And the guy said, Fernando, like Fernando Mendoza. I say, yeah. So finally people know how to pronounce and maybe spell my name. But anyways, guys, love the show. Happy Wednesday, guys.
Hey, you're famous now, Fernando.
Yeah, there you go, Fernando. Not Alex, Fernando. I don't know how people don't know how to spell Fernando.
I mean, if you're going to go by an alter ego, like Ross is a good one. We don't have to just use Alex.
Oh, so you're a little hurt that he didn't use Ross instead of Alex?
What's wrong with that?
I mean, maybe that's his middle name.
Fernando Ross.
Fernando Ross. Would you do, Blaine, and maybe this is a question, I don't know, but this is from Bustin' Diamond in the chat. Would you do 2 years, $45.5 million for Trey Hendrickson? I mean, the Tennessee Titans have a lot of cash, and they're going to have more cash and more cap space once they cut L'Jarius Sneed. potentially they may cut Calvin Ridley. I'm not really sold that as 100% happening, but I mean, I obviously I could see why they would cut Calvin Ridley, but obviously they're going to cut L'Jarius Sneed. So, I mean...
back to the Calvin Ridley thing. You just made me think.
I know where you're going.
Didn't Dayball coach Calvin Ridley there in Alabama?
He did it the year they won the championship. It crossed in my head over the weekend, and I was saving that. I was saving that for this week, but yeah.
Still be here for a certain price, or maybe the same price, and they still get only one more receiver. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying. I've also heard that Calvin Ridley's injury wasn't as bad as it was, but I mean,
dislocated ankle.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a huge injury to recover from at this point in time. I'm just saying, I just wouldn't rule out that Calvin Ridley is going to be a Tennessee Titan because I mean, his numbers are already factored in to the cap space that you see around the league, whichever you see on Twitter. His numbers are already factored in, and from what I'm saying, Brian Dable coached him. There's a working relationship there. Now, that doesn't mean anything, but just saying there is some connections there, and this team does need wide receivers, and we have seen him be a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Now we're going to see him be maybe a 1,000-yard wide receiver with maybe a really good offensive coordinator that knows how to use them.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would say. I would lean into Dayball and like, hey, man, so how do you think if we were to keep him, Ridley, how would you use him? And could he be a viable, like, number two with our other two young receivers? And if he, he's a little inconsistent. So how do you think he'll adapt to even coming back in his role in here? And then what is he making, $20 million or something?
Yeah.
It's not something, crazy. So, you just kind of say, maybe this will fit. Maybe we only need one receiver in free agency or the draft. And you then re-sign, let's say, Van Jefferson. I know a lot of people don't. I like that move. And then he's like the fifth guy. Oh, my. And he, stays in his lane and is affordable, by the way. So, I would definitely be open to, that. But you asked a question about
Trey Hendrickson.
I would do a 1 year opt out.
Yeah.
I would be open to it. I would lean into the doctors on this with the core because I think that's a really tough injury. So some guys come back better from it, and some guys still struggle a little bit. So, what's the depth of that injury being a core muscle there? But
we'll talk more about Calvin Ridley tomorrow because I do want to get into that. We'll also, in true Blaine and Zach fashion, we did not get to our main topic that is on the YouTube title.
The main topic today was the cats and dogs.
It was cats and dogs. It was supposed to be Cam Ward
the whole time.
But in true fashion, we did not get to it, so we'll get to that tomorrow as well. This is covered.
If you want to hear our Monday topic, it'll be on tomorrow's show.
Our Monday topic will be on Friday. So that will do it for us. This is covered too with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone. And in the meantime,
and in between time,
peace.